Hi, my name is Marielle King. I teach history. I am an archaeologist and anthropologist, and I am working towards my master's in history. This video is to help instructors gain knowledge about communication and conflict management in the higher education classroom. Some strategies that you could implement to foster effective communication with adult learners would be creating a respectful and inclusive environment. You could do this by encouraging open dialogue, acknowledging and using previous experience of your students. Your students are adults; they've had life experience, and it can be valuable in the classroom, especially when trying to make things relevant for students. And then just being respectful towards others and their beliefs. You're going to get a lot of different ideas and cultures in your classroom, and just making sure that you're respecting all of those is one really good way of creating a respectful and inclusive environment. Another strategy would be to implement active learning techniques. So, active listening techniques. So you would be showing empathy and understanding, repeating what they're saying back to them, letting them know that you're hearing them, asking open-ended questions, and then providing constructive feedback. It's your job to teach, and the best way to do that is to give them feedback on what they're doing. Another final strategy would be to facilitate collaborative working. So using group activities and discussions, encouraging peer learning and support, working together, and building study groups and things like that. And then using technology to help bridge those gaps and using communication, so forums and Google Meets and things, so that students can meet outside of the immediate classroom. So there are some challenges to communication in the higher education classroom, like there is in every profession. So one of the biggest things in the higher education classroom would be the diverse communication styles and the cultural backgrounds, where something might be accepted in one culture, it might not be accepted in another. Or, there's a lot of lived experience with adults, so certain things might not be as effective with some adults as others. So this can all lead to misunderstandings and misinterpretations of things. So it's important for the instructors to work to understand different backgrounds and cultures, have multiple forms of communication so that the information is being shared in multiple different ways, and then just working to understand students' needs and beliefs, and making sure that you're accommodating all of that. Another strategy would be another complication would be students being reluctant to communicate and participate in class. So this could be due to a lack of confidence or fear of judgment or previous bad experiences, things like that. So the things that that we can do as instructors would be to create supportive environments, respectful, safe, and just built on learning. Using small group activities, sometimes it's easier to communicate in a smaller group than it is to like a whole lecture hall. And then providing structured opportunities for participation. So maybe not always just doing like jump in when you can, like structure it. So some conflict de-escalation strategies would be active listening and empathy. So as an instructor, you should always remain calm, put yourselves in your students' shoes, and you should always work to hear with the students out. And then to help your students, when students have conflicts, instructors can help act as a mediator, making sure that all students are heard and understood. Sometimes problems are just communication issues, like someone's just misunderstanding or misinterpreting what the other is saying, and another adult in the room mediating that conversation can help. Another strategy would be to establish clear ground rules and boundaries. Instructors should establish rules and boundaries early and work to implement them throughout the conversation. Staying firm with your rules and your boundaries is one of the best ways to ensure that that conflict resolution can happen. When students are having conflict, instructors should make sure that students are respecting one another, making sure that students have the opportunities to solve conflicts properly. So if students are having a conflict in your class, they should not be yelling at each other in your class. You can step out in the hallway, help them through it, give them opportunities to fix it, and don't let it just fester. So effective communication supports students' success and creates a positive classroom environment by ensuring students have clear understanding of the course materials and expectations, which reduces confusion and enhances the learning experience. It also fosters a positive classroom environment. It helps to build trust and respect, which encourages dialogue and makes it easier to participate in the learning environment. And it also promotes engagement and collaboration among students and with student-teacher relationships, which motivates students to participate and work together, which is always beneficial. Thank you so much for listening to my talk, and I hope you have a beautiful day.